Hello traders, Nick Shaheen here with a few words about options. I would like to demystify options. There are a few myths out there that are just not true. The first of which is options are riskier than stocks. Not true, and I'll prove it to you. So this is Apple. If I wanted to go long Apple yesterday, this is a daily chart, I would have had to spend 100 shares times the price of Apple, which is $220. Yesterday at the close, let me see here, $220.70. I would have had to fork over that number times 100 shares. That's a pile of money. As opposed to going long Apple with options, it would have just been a few $100. So what would happen if I go long Apple? Which one would make me more money, more yield on my risk? Options, that's another secret. Options have a much bigger bang for the buck, and I'll prove it to you. 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to go to an options chain and see what Apple's doing. So first of all, Apple was, this is not Apple, this is Apple. Apple was doing pretty well this morning, and it's still up a little bit, but far off the highs. So it's up 80 cents or so I would have made money, but I would have made 0.4%. We're looking at the number right here, 0.4%. That's the day move. So whatever pile of money I invested in yesterday, I made 0.4%, which is outstanding overnight. That's great. But here's what I would have made had I been in the options. So in this week's contract, I would have been up 10, 14%, depends on which one I would have bought. Longer term, the number changes, but it still folds over. So bigger bang for the buck. Of course, if you guess in the wrong direction, you're going to lose money in either case. So people say, well, yeah, you can win fast and lose fast. Sure, time is an enemy, but there's a way to mitigate that. That's the number one myth of options. Second is that I need a lot of money to use options. I don't. In fact, I just started this by saying I could have invested with hundreds of dollars versus having 50 grand, 70 grand, depends on what I'm trading, in order to trade. I can do this with smaller accounts. I have done it with smaller accounts. I just adjust my trading strategies. There are literally thousands of ways I can use options if I study well. So the biggest myth is I can lose a lot of money trading options. Yes, same, but not as much as in stocks, or same as stocks. You bet on a stock, you win or you lose. Same with options. And if you bet more than you can afford to lose, in either case, you're going to end up blowing up your account. So I don't bet more than I can afford to lose, and I don't have open-ended risk. So I do homework, I watch the charts, and I bet with options, and the bang is bigger using options. So I owe it to myself to learn options if I don't know it. So here are a few things that are particularly fancy that way and get you interested and say, hey, you know what, maybe I should look into options. So best kept secrets, I can trade, other than the fact that I can trade it with little money, is I can protect my stocks for free. So if I own Apple, there are ways I can protect my stock for free, and maybe forever, or for as long as I own the stock. Another kept secret is that I can actually create my own dividends. I remember years ago when Apple didn't pay a dividend, everybody was freaking out. Pay a dividend already, pay a dividend already. And I'm thinking to myself, you can pay yourself your own dividends. Plenty of ways of doing that. So there's no added risk, zero risk added. So I own the stock, that's my biggest risk. I can create dividend. And the worst that could happen is me having to sell my stock at a higher price. Hey, those are first world problems, as they say. Now, another secret is that when I open a credit option spread, for example, or when I sell options in order to, based on conviction, money goes into my account to open the trade. So instead of me buying something and hoping it works out, I sell something and time is on my side, and money goes into my account. Granted, it's not mine until it expires. But if they say most options expire worthless, so selling them should be sure money, right? Yeah, nothing is sure, but the concept, you get the point. There are a lot of myths about options. Don't let them sway you from learning about them. Plenty of ways to learn it. I'll probably put a link below to see if there's anything I can provide to help with that. I learned it on my own. I made a ton of mistakes, but I think I got a good handle on it right now. Plus the charts have a lot to say, and that's also part of it. So fundamentals are key. I don't risk money on bad fundamentals, but charts provide a lot of clues. For example, Roku, down today on a downgrade. By the way, down 12%. Huge money, right? If I shorted Roku yesterday, I would have made a ton of money. Let's see. So Roku's down $18 today. So it was, up here yesterday. So I would have doubled my money had I bet options. That's the options change. So yes, if I shorted the stock outright, traditional methods, I would have made 12% overnight. Bingo. I'd have made 100% or more, 200%, if I had bet with options. And this number would probably be even more impressive. 5,000% for those who bought a lottery ticket yesterday for pennies. Pennies. This thing cost 10 cents yesterday. Today it's $4. So that's, $4,000 on 10, whatever. It's just the bang is bigger with options, and the risk was 10 cents per contract. So I owe it to myself to learn a little bit more about options, and I'll make it short and I end it here.